dance with her because they were playing music that was, Mary Jo was saying, similar in our time. And I was telling, it brought back some nice memories because the last time I was on a boat like this, and this is true, was when I was on my first state years and years ago, about 45 years ago when I was a junior up in high school. And so I was feeling very, very young when Joy first asked me. But then she invited me to the Brooke County Senior Picnic, which I always enjoy attending. And when I was approaching the picnic tables, I think the band was, this side? Okay. I think the band was playing a song, Rock Around the Clock. And as I was walking towards the picnic tables, I was wondering why would they be playing that song, because that was a song in my time. And then it automatically dawned on me that, George, you are a senior citizen, and that is why they're playing the song at this time. But before going any further, I would like to say how proud we are at the United Way to have as part of our United Way organizations agencies like the Brooke County Senior Program and Brooke County Library and Brooke County and Hancock County Salvation Armies and several others. And each and every day I know they do a tremendous job touching the lives of individuals and families that they serve. And Chris was talking about my job, that they make my job so much easier by the tremendous work that they do. But this is your special day, and I really want to thank you on behalf of all the people that you serve, for all the volunteer work that you do. For you, by the work that you do, you touch the lives of many others. And I really don't think that you can imagine the impact that you are having on other people's lives. Angie was telling me that you provided approximately 90,000 volunteer hours. 90,000 volunteer hours. That's tremendous. That is tremendous. And you all need to be congratulated for that. And doing different things. Visiting and delivering meals to seniors, providing some in-home care so that individuals can remain living independently, helping serve in some capacity meals in a soup kitchen, or just providing reading to a child or providing some service to a child or a person with special needs, and the list goes on and on. And you have been a tremendous blessing, more than you will ever know, with the people and the families of the lives that you've touched. So I want to thank you on behalf of them, first of all. You know, when I think of volunteer work and seniors who do volunteer work, I automatically think of my Aunt Martha. My Aunt Martha passed away a few years ago. But Aunt Martha was a very, very energetic person. And up until the time in which she was about 85 years old, or in her mid-80s, she was very, very active, doing various volunteer tasks for people who just needed a little bit of help to maintain an independent style of life. Now, we all had our funny stories about Aunt Martha, and one that I can share with you is about 14 years ago, shortly after my father passed away. I took my mother out to see her sister, my Aunt Martha. And when we got near her house, I couldn't believe this car that I saw sitting beside my Aunt Martha's house. And you couldn't just seeing it because it had so many dents in it. Dents that I couldn't imagine how the dents got on certain places on the car. Because some of the dents were small dents, some of the dents were large dents. And but this car was filled with dents, and the sun was very nice, and it was just reflecting off all these dents. So we went inside and we had a cup of coffee, and then my Aunt Martha offered to take us down to Eaton Park, and she offered to drive. But of course, I decided that I would drive that day. But at Aunt Martha's funeral, several of her grandchildren got up, and they gave a short eulogy of how their Aunt Martha, how their grandmother, had done so much volunteer work. Up until the time, again, that she was in her mid-80s. She delivered meals to shut-in individuals, just like you do. She went shopping for the home bond. She visited or talked to people who were just homebound that had nobody else that they had and she would spend time with them. Things that you do each and every day. She transported people to doctors when they were sick. And she even took in a little dog when one of her friends had to be placed into a nursing home. Upon reflecting on all of Aunt Martha's volunteer efforts, I can remember when I was sitting at her funeral service. It came to me that maybe those dents in her car represented the dents, the pain, the suffering of the individuals' lives that she touched, and the individuals' lives that she comforted through her volunteer work. You know, that is what each and every one of you are doing through your volunteer work as well. For you are also helping to respond to the dents, the pains, the sufferings, the needs of individuals and families whose lives that you touch each and every day. For example, when you prepare a meal or when you deliver a meal, you are providing a nutritious meal to someone who may not have it. When you spend time with someone, it may be someone who may not see anybody else the rest of the day. I saw on Angie's list that a couple people were collecting blood. You know, my mom's still living up in Pittsburgh, and she went through a bad experience in May in which she ended up with a serious condition called pleuritic pneumonia. And we weren't sure whether Mom was going to live or not. But through the grace of God, she was allowed to live. But in order for her to recover, she needed several pints of blood. Maybe some of you were the individuals who helped to collect that. And when you volunteer to read for children, or volunteer at Sunday school or at church school, you are really having a tremendous impact, more than you know, on the lives of another person. Just about a year ago, I was sharing a story with you. I was rocking my granddaughter, who was about a year old at the death time, to sleep. And I found myself singing this song to her. And it was a song that I learned, not in the Catholic Church, or not in the United Church of Christ that I grew up in. But it was a song that I learned when I was in Sunday school, probably between the time I was 3 to 5 years old, that I was singing to her, and it just dawned on me. Those individuals, the Shirley Newsons, the Ruth Tappies, the other individuals that volunteered to be my Sunday school teacher, had a tremendous impact on my life. And you are having that same tremendous impact on the lives of other people who you touch. One of the things I would ask you to do is please, please, please continue to do what you were doing as much as you can. When my Aunt Martha grew a little bit older, when she was in her late 80s, she could no longer travel and help provide volunteer services anymore. And so from time to time I would call my Aunt Martha, and I can remember coming home from Charleston one time. It was on a nice Sunday afternoon, just like today. And I called her up and we spent about 45 minutes talking. It was about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'll never forget this, when the conversation ended, she thanked me for calling her up. Now, this was at 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon, because she said, you know, you're the first person that I talked to this particular day. So please, please, please continue to do what you were doing. You are really having an impact on the lives of others. And so I would ask you to continue doing that. Know that you are being a blessing. You're being a blessing not only to that person, but also to other individuals as well, to their loved ones. Because oftentimes, just like me, I can't be as close to my mom and provide her with the help that I would like her to be able to provide her. And so you are doing that too. You're being a blessing to not only that person that you're serving, but also to their family members as well. So I'll close by, again, thanking you on behalf of the individuals that you are serving and their families. And know that although you, like my Aunt Martha, can't remove all the dents, all the pains that exist in those people's lives that you're helping, please know that your efforts are having a tremendous impact on their lives, and that it does have a healing presence. And please, please, please always recognize what a tremendous blessing you are being to not only that person, but to their family, and yes, to our good Lord up above. Thank you again for all that you do.
At this time, we're going to ask Angie Cover to come up forward to say a few words.
We made it again. We listened to you. We're on the boat. I'm going to start off with a lighter note. Mark and Jeanette always started with the joke, so they got me in this habit. Okay, here it goes. I hope I tell it okay. 3 men were meeting with St. Peter in heaven. He poses a question to them. What are the last words you would like to have said about you while you were on earth? The first gentleman replies, I would like to hear how I was a great husband, served my wife. The second gentleman replies, I would like to hear how I was a dedicated father, loved my children. The third gentleman replies, and may I add, he is an RSVP volunteer. He says, I want to hear, he's moving! That was cute. It reminded me of Willie. Again, I want to give a special thanks to everyone who came today. We celebrate the accomplishments of our volunteers. This event is all about our volunteers. Also, I want to take time to say thanks to my staff. They collected over $9,000. We call it big time, but actually it's your door prizes.
Yeah, you go. You did most of it.
Please stand up and be recognized. Linda Bedoni.
Linda.
She went over and above. She's our hero this year.
Yay!
She's a county coordinator. We need to get her farewell today. She's moving on to a new position, and we wish her well. We're going to miss her. Colleen Murray, she's the newest one on our staff. She's our Marshall County coordinator. We have Alina Hopkins. She's our Brooke County Vista. She's also been in Marshall County. She's been around. She's a good Vista. April Roy, she's our newest Vista. She's in Marshall County. She's done a great job on that too. We do have a new coordinator coming on board, and she's here today as a guest. She started out as a volunteer. So we're making known that if you volunteer, you can eventually end up with a position. And her name is Emma K. Weiner, I'm sorry. She's probably up on the second deck there. She'll be coming aboard presently, and we want to welcome her. You know her? Is she? Yeah. Is Emma K. down here? Do we have her stand? Is she down here? She upstairs. She's probably upstairs. And just to let you know, we are presently looking for a coordinator in Hancock County. These are part-time positions. Who may be interested. Have them call us or give us a name and we'll contact them. Again, I want to thank our RCA advisors. They assist throughout the year. They come to the meetings.
I don't have
They do the mundane things of reviewing reports, reviewing our monthly minutes, reviewing our events and things that we've got going on and what we've accomplished. But they're very necessary. We really appreciate their input and welcome that. Again, I want to take time to acknowledge our bus drivers and our senior centers. And also Kim, she's on advisory council, but she played the role of a bus driver today. So our advisory council does it all. They assisted with transportation, and this wouldn't be possible without them coming aboard and helping us do that. Also, Gateway Clipper Fleet. They provided an excellent meal. They were very great in helping us, getting everything organized for us. They were great. Also, I'm going to do a quick reminder. This is the business that I have to do. File of Life. You will have one in your gift bag. Would you please fill it out? Bob Fowler will probably, he's our OAS, he's here, he'll tell you how important this is. Fill it out, put it on the refrigerator. If you have an emergency, everything's already there. A lot of times if you're going to the doctor's office, you don't have to drag out all the prescriptions, just take this with you. So we're asking that you please help us. We're trying to build capacity And this is one way we're going to do it, to help make sure that we're prepared for emergencies.
It does
If
save
you
your life.
need
I
gift
used it
bag,
this summer.
Please again,
It's
fill it out.
a
We also
lifesaver.
have distributed
Buy
vouchers.
online.
Invite you to please.
I had used it this summer when I was in the hospital, and when I coded, my friends pulled it out of my bag and gave it to the doctors, and it had all of this, my medications, my allergies, and everything. And without it, my friends
You know,
wouldn't
how
tell
did we get
them.
here today?
And they wouldn't know.
I was spending some quiet time.
no
I call it prayer. God probably called it complaining. But I was asking him, how did you do all this? We just got a grant from Marshall County, PBS grant. Now they're giving us a 20% cut. We lost staff. With new territory. The needs are so great. The tasks are so large. And the resources are so few. How are we going to do this? There's so many changes coming up with grants and recompetition and, you know, less staff. Again, more reporting, more paperwork, more outcomes. You know, Lord, this is overwhelming. And I was waiting for this great revelation. You know, how you kind of sit back and say, okay, Lord, now you can tell me we'll just go about and do it. He gives me 2 words. Usually he does that with me. When he impresses something on my heart, he gives me 2 words, and that's all I can handle at one time. But he said, invite me. You know, a lot of times we go about our business and we're so busy. So we started our scheduling weekly meetings. Our staff will tell you all about those wonderful Monday morning meetings. Before we start anything, we gather and we take 5 minutes to invite him. We ask for guidance, direction for ourselves, our leaders, our stations, our volunteers. We ask you for volunteers, you know, to help us meet the needs of our stations. We ask them to help us stay focused. We've asked them for physical mental strength. We've also asked them time to think. We've also given them thanks for assistance in helping us achieve our goals. And we call it our divine intervention. We were praying for a station and the gentleman calls the very next day and says you could use our building. We felt that was divine intervention. But I would love to report to you that everything went smooth. We were smooth sailing, but that's not the case. It's been one of the hardest years we've had yet for RSVP. We've had to deal with personal illnesses, financial problems that affect our jobs on a personal basis. However, you know, resistance builds strength. And I feel we've become stronger this year and have accomplished much with God's guidance. Today, I think is a God week. I call it God week for you. I get a chance to see the accomplishments of our volunteers. I'm encouraged to keep up the good fight.
I'll take that.
With this, I'd like to thank our volunteers for allowing us to honor them today and share in their accomplishments and take a sneak peek into their lives and see exactly what they do. We're going to be short on the things that we do today. We want to give you time to enjoy the cruise. So we're going to go ahead and give out one item as you leave, give a t-shirt as you leave. So we're not going to be calling all the tickets. But we do have one big item that we're going to raffle off and call people today. So if you do not have a ticket for that raffle item, please call anyone in a red shirt. Call them and ask them if they can get a ticket.
We didn't get tickets. I know, I'm going to go get
And
them.
before you leave, as you have your
Playing my game.
Relaxation time, please feel free to drop by the table and pick up your gift bags. Right now, we're going to go ahead and start the award presentations. I do see a hand in the back. Whoever has the purple tickets, if they would make sure the hand in the back has
They weren't
a ticket.
supposed to, but she just announced that they can take when they have free
So
time.
I am,
I think she just did it.
She's going to go ahead and get our award presentations. We're only going to call 2 people forward. It's going to be the 2 that are receiving the presidential awards. The rest, our staff is going to take them to you. We feel it would be easier for you, faster for us to get the award presentation area over, and so you can actually enjoy the cruise. So again, I would like to give it over to Kristen to start the presentation.